Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and this is another monthly recommendations video. So monthly recommendations was a group created by Trina from Between Chapters and Kayla from Kayla Rain, and this month's theme is survival stories. And I love survival stories, so this is a really fun one to see other people's recommendations for. So here are some of mine. Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. This is a kid's book basically about, because I think it's a little bit early, even earlier than middle grade. I don't know. But anyway, it's about a girl who, she's like a native girl, and her family lives on an island, and it's called the Island of the Blue Dolphins. And then one day, I think her entire family and everybody gets captured, and she's the only one who just somehow gets left on the island because she's not there when it happens. So she has to survive on the island for a really long time. I don't remember how long. I'm going to have to read this again sometime soon. And it goes through all of her survival stuff, like what animals she encounters and all this other stuff, and it's really cool. Ariel by Stephen R. Boyett. If you've been watching my past month or two videos, I have talked about this book quite a bit. But this is about a post-apocalyptic world. I can't talk. It's about a post-apocalyptic world, and a boy named Pete becomes best friends with a unicorn. Basically, they journey from Florida to New York throughout this book, and he has blow darts, and he collects more ammo for the blow darts, makes more stuff for it. They forage for food. They stop in abandoned convenience stores because it's post-apocalyptic, and people just find convenience stores and just rob them of whatever. So they're just constantly humanity as a whole is surviving through this post-apocalyptic world, and it shows that, but then it also shows Pete and his unicorn Ariel's survival. Along kind of the same lines, we have Dies the Fire by S.M. Sterling, and this series was actually inspired by Ariel. Post-apocalyptic world, although this is the post-apocalyptic West Coast and not the post-apocalyptic East Coast, but basically same deal, only in this book the apocalypse has just happened, not 8 years ago, but just now. And it focuses on a whole bunch of different characters who are kind of trying to figure out what to do. And so they go to a museum, and they take the Conestoga wagons from the museum and start riding those, and then just setting up towns elsewhere, and living like it's the Middle Ages, just like in Ariel. So I couldn't not mention this one. Another book that I really could not just leave out of this is The Odyssey by Homer, and I was obsessed with this book when I had to read it for school when I was 14. It is so good. It is, if you don't know, if somehow you live under a rock and you've just never read this, it is about a soldier from the Trojan War named Odysseus who, after the Trojan War is over and he's supposed to go home, he doesn't actually make it home, and he ends up on this crazy journey of 10 years long or something. Longer than that even. It's 20 years total that he's gone. Another one that I couldn't leave out either is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm not going to go too far into what this is about, but basically it's a survival story because the main character, his whole family is gone, and he has to survive on his own, living off of nothing basically, and his only possession basically is a book at one point, and he has to pawn it to get to the university, and then he still has to figure out how to pay an admission fee without being eaten out of his last few coins, and all this craziness. It's definitely a survival story. Even though it's not something that would be billed as a survival story, it really is. And finally, The Martian by Andy Weir. If you don't know what this is about, it is about a man who gets left behind on Mars and has to survive on Mars. And this is such a good book. I actually have a whole review of it down below if you want to check it out. Those are my favorite survival stories. Let me know what some of yours are in the comments, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!